Hello everyone, welcome back to Cybertix. So till now in the 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗵𝗶 advent of cyber, we have seen almost the SOC, that is the Security Operations Center task, how to analyze the logs and exploit it. But today we will focus more towards the red teaming side, where we will understand some of the important frameworks and standards used in our cybersecurity fields. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So let's just start with our today's topic, that is the day 4. I'm all atomic inside. So 𝘏𝗏𝗏 is approaching and the town of 𝗾𝗏 started preparations for the grand event. Glitch, a quite talented security 𝘏𝗏𝗏 engineer, had a hunch that this year's celebrations will be different. With looming threats, he decided to revamp the town's security defenses. Glitch began to fortify the town's security defenses quietly and meticulously. He started by implementing a protective firewalls, patching the vulnerabilities, and accessing endpoints to patch for security vulnerabilities. As he worked tirelessly, he left breadcrumbs, small traces of his activity. So, unaware of Glitch's good intentions, the SOC team spotted anomalies. Logs showing admin access, escalation of privileges, patched system behaving differently, and security tools triggering alerts. The SOC team misinterpreted the system notifications and the modifications as a sign of insider threat or rogue attacker, and decided to launch an investigations using the atomic red team framework. So today our learning objective is learn how to identify malicious technique using 𝗵𝗏 attack framework, learn about how to use atomic red team to conduct attack simulations, understand how to create alerting and detection rules from the attack test. So I have performed all the test cases, that is about the connecting and starting the machine. So let's just directly jump over the detection gaps. So while it might be up to utopian dream of every blue teamer, we will rarely able to detect every attack or steps in an attack kill chain. This is a reality that all blue teamers face. There are gaps in their detections, but not to worry. These gaps do not have to be a size of black holes. These are the things which we can do help make these gaps smaller. Detection gaps are usually of two main reasons. Security is a cat and mouse game. As we detect more, the threat actors and red teamers will find new sneaky ways to thwart our detections. We then need to study these novel techniques and update our signatures and alert rules to detect these new techniques. The line between anomalies and expected behavior is often very fine and sometimes even has a significant overlap. For example, let's say we are a company based in the US. We expect to see almost all our login comes from IP address in the US. One day we got a login event from the IP in the Europe, which will be an anomaly. However, it could be our CEO traveling for business. This is an example where normal and malicious behavior intertwine, making it hard to create accurate detection rules that will not have to be much noisy. So blue team constantly refine and improve the detection rules to close this gap and experience due to two reasons mentioned above. Let's take a look how this can be done. So cyber attack and 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, this is a very common framework. So this, before diving into new detection rules, we first have to discuss some key topics. The first topic to discuss is cyber kill chain. All cyber attacks follow a fairly standard processes which is explained quietly in this unified kill chain. So that is about the initial recons, where we will collect some of the public information gathering, and we will collect all the information and try to understand. That is the initial compromise from the front end side. Once we get an access, we will look to escalate it, that is the establishing the foothold. And then once we get access of and we will find the vulnerabilities, and we'll try to escalate some of the privileges to look into the system, do we have any kind of different kind of access or not. If we got another access, that is the elevation of privileges, then we will look into the another system as we get into the access of internal data. So that is the internal recon, where we gather all the information, what are the internal processes are being working on. And then once we get that more informations, we come to know there are another domain admins, and the domains are there in our organizations. So move laterally. So we will move to the another systems, look into it, and maintaining a persistence. It means that we are storing ourselves secretly somewhere else into our organizations. So this is how we are going to complete our mission. So, 𝗵𝗏 attack, it is a very popular framework for understanding different techniques and tactics that these threat actors perform by through the kill chain in the 𝗵𝗏 attack framework. The framework is a collection of tactics, techniques and procedures that have been seen to implement a real threat actors. The framework provides a navigated tools where the TTPs can be investigated. So, you can see these are the complete reconnaissance cyber kill chains, and in that reconnaissance these are the most common techniques and techniques which the most of the threat actors are performing out. That is the active scanning, still searching victims own website, and resourcing development. He is going to establish his own accounts, like that. Initial access, executions, persistence, how he is going to be stored into that particular organizations, how he can privilege himself from another access levels, defensive events and all those kind of things. So atomic red. Now this is where we come into very today's topic, that is about atomic red. So the atomic red team library is a collection of red team test cases that are mapped to the 𝗵𝗏 attack framework. The library consists of simple test cases that can be executed by any blue team to test for detection gaps and help close them down. The library also supports automations where the techniques can be automatically executed. However, it is also possible to execute them manually, dropping the atomic. 𝗏𝗏𝙀𝙀 has vague idea of what happened to the compromised machine. It seems that some of the tried to use the atomic red team to emulate an attack of one of our system without permissions. The perpetrator also did not clean up the test artifacts. So let's just look what happened into that. So running an atomic, 𝗏𝗏𝙀𝙀 suspect that the supposed attacker used the 𝗵𝗏 attack technique of this, that is the 𝗏𝗏𝙀𝗀𝙢𝙪𝙾 spear phishing with an attachment. Let's recreate this attack simulations. So these are the PowerShell commands. We have to open up the PowerShell as an administrator, and we have to use this get help invoke atomic test. So it is going to give us some of the manual of this invoke atomic test command. So let me just open the PowerShell, run as administrator. So to look better over here, let me just go to and increase the font size till 24. Yep, maximize it and use the command. And you can see the name is the invoke atomic test. This is the PowerShell framework which we are going to use it, and they have installed it. These are the syntax which we can use it by atomic techniques. That is the show details brief, test numbers, and even the 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 has given the complete details of it. So let's just directly look into that. So these are the parameters which we call it as a tags. So atomic technique, these define what techniques you want to emulate. You can use the complete technique in the name of TXX, whatever the techniques which we are going to use it. This flex can be omitted. So this is the example that we are currently using it. Show details, it shows the details of each test included into this atomic. So in this particular technique, there can be many test cases or test numbers are there. So if you wanted to know more about it, you can give the show detail brief. Check prerequisite, it means that do we need any kind of dependency libraries in our system or not to perform these attacks. Test names, we can directly give the test names as well, or else their GUI IDs, test numbers, and after performing all those attacks, after simulating all the attacks, we can use the cleanup command. So let's just use our first command, that is the invoke atomic test. This is the test number and which we have to look into that. So we are using the show details command. So let me clear the command prompt and let me just paste it, show details. So over here, let me go to the above. Yep. So you can see the technique name. The first test case number is 1. The technique is phishing, spear phishing attachment of 1.566.001. This is what we are currently looking for in the simulation. And the test name is download macro enabled phishing attachment. This is the GUID, and even they had given a description. This atomic test download a macro enabled document from the atomic red team GitHub repositories, simulating an end user clicking on a phishing link to download the file. The file will be saved as a phishing attachment.xlsm, or else it is going to also save with the phishing attachment.txt are directly downloaded into our temporary directory, that is about the local temp directory. So it is going to use a PowerShell. We need a PowerShell. Elevation required false. It means that we do not need to be an admin to run these commands, and these are the commands which are going to be used in the backend to run this particular test. And this is the end of the test for this particular stuff which we have seen. So I guess they had given a total 2 test cases which we have seen. So before performing any test, we have to check for the prerequisite. So we are going to use this command, that is the invoke atomic test, the test numbers, that is we are going to use the 1. So and check for the prerequisites. Just for your information, this is our second test numbers, that is about the word spawns of the command shell where we need a word, Microsoft Word. So over here, let me just clear the command prompt, paste it, check for the prerequisite, and it says it is going to check prerequisites has been met. And similarly, let's just look for the second test case number, that is the 2. So it gives us an error, that is the prerequisite not matched. The reason is because to perform this attack, we need a word spawned on a command shell using an IP address in the command line. It means that there is no Microsoft Words available to run this test. Cool. CLS, clear the command. This is what we have already done about the cleanup and all. So after getting up the prerequisites, detecting the atomic. Now that we have executed this number, that is the 𝘃1566.001 atomic, we can now look for log entries that point us to the emulated attack. For this purpose, we have to clear our Windows event logs for this attack. So let me just perform this cleanup command. Cleanup. So it is going to clean up in our logs and all. So once we have cleaned, now we have clearly now we will clear these particular things into sysmon, that is the system monitor. So open up the event view by clicking on the icon on the taskbar or searching it in the start menu. So over here below there is a taskbar. Over here we can directly click on the event view log, and after that we have to navigate into the application and services, Microsoft Windows, sysmon and operational. So application services, Microsoft Windows. Cool. So they have many applications, but the main and good thing is it is ordered into alphabetically. So directly we have to move to the S where sysmon is being installed in this particular system, where it logs all our things. So we have got the sysmon over here, sysmon and operational. So we can see all the logs which has been created. So first of all, we have to clear the log. We don't need to save those logs for now. As we have cleared the log, again we have to go to the attacks and we have to perform this. That is the invoke atomic test, the test number, that is the 𝘃1566.001, and the test number which we have to perform it. So let me just copy it, clear the command prompt and hit enter. So now the execution of this particular test has been done. So let's just move directly into the operational logs and we have to refresh it. Cool. So over here, right click and hit on refresh. You can see the logs are been there. So we have to take a look into each thing. As we know, it is going to save a file, that is the phishing attachment.txt or xlsm. So we have to see over here, that is where it is being stored over here. So okay. So second, cool. In the second only we have got the target file name, that is the C administrator app data local temp phishing attachment.xlsm. So let me just open it. This PC, C user administrator app data local in the temp file you can see these two files which has been executed over here. So let's just open the txt file, and we have got the today's flag, so which they have already given and we have already completed. So let me just answer this particular question. Cool. We have done. So alerting and atomic. In the previous paragraph, we have found multiple indicators of compromise through the sysmon event logs. We can use this information to create detection rules to include in our EDR, SIEM, IDS, etc. These tools offer functionalities that allow us to import custom detection rules. There are several detection rule formats including Yara rules, Sigma, Snots, and more. So let's take a look at how we can implement these artifacts related to T1566.001. So this is about the more to the alerting and monitoring part, where we are creating a Sigma rules, and using that Sigma rules we are going to push it into our some other EDRs or some SIEM tools, where it will specifically trigger alert when someone tries to perform an invoke web request, where it is fetching this phishing attachment.xlms files. So let's just take a go through of it. So they have given a title, that is the detect PowerShell invoke web request and file creation of this phishing attachment.xlsm. So they had given an ID of 1. Description detects the usage of invoke web request to download this phishing attachment.xlsm and create of the files. So whenever if someone tries to invoke the web request and try to download this particular file, it is going to alert us directly. So as per the today's challenge, we have to similarly perform these things. So what attack ID technique will be the point of interest over here? So as per the said a command and a scripting interpreter, right? So let's just click on the hint and let's see what is the thing. External research. Look up for the 𝗵𝗏 attack technique for command and scripting framework. So let me just directly search. So it's a 𝗵𝗏 attack T1059. So let me just close it and hit it over here. What attack sub techniques ID focuses on Windows command shell. So let me just go through the 𝗵𝗏 attack framework. This is the main particular ID over here, and I guess this one is different. So let me just close it. So yeah, this one is command and scriptings over here. They had given a complete details of how we have to perform an executions and all. So let me just go through over here only. Uh, This is the command and scripting interpreter. These are the sub techniques. So we have to look each and everything into these sub techniques. But we already know that the command and scripting interpreter has Windows command shell, where the ID is T1059.003. So this was the ID. What is the name of the atomic test to be simulated? Now again we have to go to the PowerShell and perform these attacks similarly, like which we have performed for the 001. So we will use the command as show details. We just have to change the test numbers. Okay, over here we can see there are total 4 atomic test numbers, and in that they have told that we are using some ransomware attacks, right? So this is the technique name, that is the command and scripting interpreter Windows command shell. This is the number which we are looking for. Atomic test number, simulate black byte ransomware print bombing. So this is the atomic test number 4. This is the GUID, and they had given the description. This test attempts to open a file a specific number of times in WordPad, then prints the content. It is designed to mimic black byte ransomware print bombing technique, where the tree.dll, which contains the ransom note, is opened in a WordPad 75 times and then printed it. So of course we are going to use this. So let me just copy the test name, copy, paste. What is the name of the files which we are going to use it into the test? So let me just go to here. So this is the test to do start. These are the commands. So and it is going to execute and save into this 𝗲𝗚𝙗𝙤 ransomware. So this is the file name. It is going to use it. So what is the flag of this particular atomic test? So of course we have to use the test number as 4. So let me just, before that, let me just clear the command prompt and show you the test numbers and the test case which we are using it for the T109 and 003. So it has been executed and bash script has been created, but there is an error. The system cannot file the specific path. The main reason is because we had directly jumped into this particular stuff, right? So again we have to click on the clear commands, test numbers and clean up. So we had not cleaned up, because of that this is happening. So hyphen clean up. So execution has been clean up. Now let's just try to check for the prerequisite as well. So just directly copy it and paste it. Okay, this the create and executing prerequisite has not matched because of these temporary bat files. So try installing prerequisite.get prerequisite switch. So again we have to perform this one. So it is going to run and it is going to be downloaded, right? So script.bat file has been done over here. So after that again we have to go to the sysmon, clear log, clear everything, and after that ls. Okay, script has been performed, but now over here we have to test our 4, that is the simulate black hat ransom printing and bombing. So it gives up the prompt or the PDF. So let's just save it as a cybertix.pdf. Actually previously we are directly using the test number 4, but actually we wanted to use the test number as 4 only, but previously we have used the 1, so there was a little bit confusion over here, so apologize for that. Let me just open the PDF file and see the command, the flag will be there. So let's just open it. You can see glitch is working on testing the security posture before 𝘲𝗏 is here. I will run as many tests and ensure we are all safe and uncover all threats before they hit us. So this is the flag. So let me just copy it and done for the today's task. Yes. So we have completely understood what is atomic red test cases are there and how to use the 𝗵𝗏 attack frameworks. So I hope you understand what is cyber key chain and 𝗵𝗏 attack framework. Most of these works are used from the blue team side, where they use the atomic red framework to see different techniques which most of the threat actors do. So these are the new things which will take some time to understand, but we have to keep practicing. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'll see you into the next challenge. Till that time, goodbye and 𝗏𝗵𝗶𝘀𝗵𝗶.